Small businesses are the backbone of our economy, and those within the tech sector face unique challenges and opportunities that demand tailored support and guidance.
My vision is really helping us get back to that again, but it's really the idea around creating an Olympic performance center.
So, if you're a founder or entrepreneur looking to grow your business, please take a moment to really reflect on your vision and how you can align it with the resources and networks available to you.
We do a lot around operational performance to help them build their infrastructure with some of our partners that we have.
To all aspiring founders tuning in, please remember that the road to success begins with a strong foundation. Focus on building a team that believes in your mission and a strategy that's both innovative and adaptable. In a world where things change rapidly, having a solid base can help you pivot and grow in the right direction. Welcome to another insightful episode of the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast. Today, we are delving into the dynamic world of tech startups and exploring the pivotal role that accelerators play in fostering growth and driving innovation. Small businesses are the backbone of our economy, and those within the tech sector face unique challenges and opportunities that demand tailored support and guidance. Our guest today is Chris Greenfield, the Managing Director of OneEleven, Canada's leading tech accelerator. With over 30 years of expertise in building and scaling businesses, Chris has led innovation strategies at prominent companies like Procter & Gamble and Canadian Tire, and has co-founded tiptap, a startup that has raised millions for charities. So join us as we discuss the future of tech innovation, gain valuable advice for founders, and uncover what it truly takes to build and sustain a high-performance environment in the fast-paced world of startups. Chris, we're so honored to have you here today with us. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, always.
We're very pleased to have you, and we're excited to share your journey with our audience today. Now let's begin with OneEleven and the inspiration behind it, because OneEleven is at the pinnacle of Canada's innovation ecosystem, helping startups reach new heights, and you've been leading this vision for some time now. Chris, can you tell us what your vision for OneEleven is, and what changes can we expect soon?
Yeah, I think OneEleven was originally created as a really kind of a support group for OMERS venture companies. And the idea around it was really to provide them the support they needed to grow and become some of Canada's most successful companies. And we've seen that with the Wealthsimples, the Cohos, the Borrowwell portfolio companies that we've had come out of OneEleven. My vision is really helping us get back to that again, but it's really the idea around creating an Olympic performance center. High performance center, similar to what we create for our Olympic athletes, and providing them the facilities, the support, the training, the coaching, the science, the R&D, the therapy, the counseling, whatever they need in order to put them in the ideal mindset and reduce any barriers to them growing and becoming Canada's most successful companies.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
The focus on creating a high-performance environment sets OneEleven apart, really. But how does this vision align with the future of Canada's tech ecosystem and the broader economy?
I think one of the things that you really see in Canada is that we do really well with our R&D on a global measurement scale, but we do very poorly in terms of commercializing that R&D and that technology. So that's what we really need to do. And the best way to do that is to coach people on how to do it and have people that have been through that experience, that are founders, that are entrepreneurs, that are innovation leaders, there to help coach them through that. So we really, really do kind of focus on something we call the athletic mindset. And it has a lot to do with providing them the coaching, the support, the fractional services, all the guidance and advice that they need. But it also focuses a good portion on soft skills. You know, founders and startup employees, they're still humans, right? They still have feelings and emotions. They have, excitement and stress. They go through a lot of different emotions, and we need to make sure that they have the right mindset to grow, persevere, and drive their companies forward.
Mm-hmm. So it's quite clear that OneEleven is more than just an accelerator, right? It's a catalyst for Canadian tech growth. Listeners, as we just discussed, the vision for OneEleven is about more than just scaling startups. It's about fostering an ecosystem where innovation and success thrive. So if you're a founder or entrepreneur looking to grow your business, please take a moment to really reflect on your vision and how you can align it with the resources and networks available to you. Up next, let's dive into the mindset that drives success for startups and scale ups, because scaling a business can be such a daunting task, and because it requires the right strategy, the right resources, and most importantly, the right mindset. Chris, what do you believe are the most important steps a scale up should take to ensure long-term success?
Yeah, I think at a scale up stage, they already know they have product market fit. They already have customers. For us, they have to have $1 million in annual recurring revenue minimum. So we know there's a viable business there. What they need to do is be able to scale their team, operationally scale their team, move from a proof of concept or a minimum viable product into something that does have the potential to grow and service a national market or a global network. So we do a lot around operational performance to help them get there, help them build their infrastructure with some of our partners that we have, whether it's Microsoft, CDW, Apple. We're actually the only accelerator incubator that Apple's ever supported. So providing them that support is extremely important. And then so that they can scale. And then the other part is, the only reason you're scaling is because you're acquiring customers. Right. So we focus on 3 things: growth, capital, and performance. So growth is highly focused on sales leadership, sales ops, rev ops, customer proposition, value proposition, these kind of things that allow them to sell more and have more customers. The capital is just us helping them navigate the difficult capital market, whether it's, venture, whether it's private equity, whether it's, the actual capital markets, helping them navigate that so they're not spinning their wheels and going through, we get them to no quicker, right? Hopefully we get them to yes, but they're not wasting time with investors. And then finally, in terms of performance, it's operational performance for sure, but it's also about human performance and how we can help them there.
Well, that's great advice, especially for businesses that are looking to make that leap from a startup to a scale up. Now, in your experience, Chris, what are the common pitfalls that founders usually face during the scaling process, and how can they avoid them?
Yeah, I think the pitfalls largely deal with, I think, the use of their time and a lack of clarity on who can truly help them, right? We need a lot of clarity in terms of, from a investors market, who really are the investors that can actually support your business? Are you the right fit? Do you fit their thesis? Helping the startups navigate that so they save time and they get that capital quicker is probably the most important thing. And it's also making sure that the investor and the startup founder and the executive team really can work together through the highs and the lows. There's a lot of pitfalls in being a startup entrepreneur, and the stakes get higher when you're a scale up. So we largely, that is probably one of the biggest things. I think the other is being aware of what the founder and the executive team's true capabilities are. What is their unique ability? What are they good at? What are they better at than anyone else? And if they know that, then they know where there's gaps. Right. And it's our job to help them fill in those gaps. And that might be marketing, it might be operations, it might be, rev ops, or any of the things that we mentioned earlier. So I think there's really 2 things: is helping them save time, navigate the market, understand the network, and get them the help they need quicker. And then also the founders and executives knowing the help and admitting the help that they actually need.
That's a great perspective. And on that note, it's really important to also highlight that according to, the recent statistics, small businesses, they make up 98% of employer businesses right here in Canada. On that note, Chris, at OneEleven, what role do you think small businesses will play in shaping the future of our economy?
Yeah. So I'll give you a couple other stats. So 90% of startups fail,
Right.
right?
Right.
At OneEleven, we actually have a 98% success rate.
Wow.
So, and that's largely, they are scale ups, but it's also how we support them and how the community supports each other. We have a lot of large corporations in Canada. We have fewer banks, we have fewer insurance companies. We have a lot of these, we have fewer of than any other country in the world. And what that does is it limits competition, it limits innovation, it limits consumer choice, right? So small business, and what I'd love to see more than anything is to see more small business entrepreneurs, more startup entrepreneurs becoming visionary leaders. Shoot higher, shoot for the stars. You can do more, right? And as Canadians, we're relatively modest and we tend to avoid risk. And I think that's why our innovation ecosystem suffers. Right. So what I'd love to see is a few more of these SME companies and leaders actually take the risk to innovate, do something different, enter a new market, offer something up new to their customers and their consumers. If we do that, that's the best way to stimulate the economy. So we really do have to focus on an innovation mindset and how we can change that, not only within large corporations and within government, but also within every small business owner out there.
We love the support that you're offering.
Yeah.
And you're right. I mean, avoiding those pitfalls can really indeed be crucial for survival. And with that, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back soon to dive into the role of accelerators like OneEleven in fostering growth and innovation. So please stay tuned.
You dreamt big. You made the leap. You and your "we're not stopping at small" business. Doesn't matter you've never done it before. You unlock those problems. You adapt to change. You learn to evolve. You're pioneers in challenging times, finding your own frontiers. Wherever you e-commerce, UPS is with you. So nothing is going to hold you back.
4 billion people check their email every day. That's 4 billion missed opportunities if your message doesn't make it. To reach your customer's inbox, you need a winning strategy. And Constant Contact delivers. Literally, over 97% deliverability. Elevate your email game with easy-to-use templates, writing assistants powered by AI, and in-depth metrics. Ensuring your email is flawless, delivered, and read. Constant Contact delivers. Give it a try.
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, we're in the business of you.
We're here to help you plug in,
connect, and recharge.
make an impression,
and meet with confidence.
With 19 brands built for business,
your business gets even more rewarding.
With an award-winning loyalty program at 6,000 IHG hotels and resorts worldwide.
Welcome back. We're here with Chris, and now we're turning our focus to the world of accelerators and the immense value they bring to the tech ecosystem. Up next, let's explore the advice that you'd like to give to fresh founders who are just starting their journey, because starting a new venture, you know firsthand, Chris, can be equally exhilarating and challenging. And with so much at stake, founders need to make the right moves really early on. But what advice would you give to someone that is launching their first startup today?
Yeah, I actually just wrote an article on the 5 things that startup founders really need to be aware of. And the first one is really around focus. I won't go through all 5.
Right.
We don't have enough time today, but it's really focus. Knowing what your proposition is, knowing what is of value to your customers. And then I think beyond that is making sure that your team shares that vision or that purpose, and constantly reminding them of that. And then being able to give yourself some time to think and step back. Sometimes we get so overwhelmed, not only in our business life and startup founders. And entrepreneurs in general, entrepreneurship in general is the toughest job in the world, right? Because largely you have the responsibility to make the decisions, you have the responsibility for the financials, the progress, the vision, everything. It comes down to you. So being able to step back and take the time to think and make sure that you're focused on your purpose and your priorities on a regular basis is hugely, hugely important. I've seen way too many startup entrepreneurs and small business entrepreneurs fall into kind of the regular cycle, right? Or they go off on a tangent that seems to be cool, but your customer base is over here, right? Your original vision is over here. So I think those are probably a couple of the main things: the focus, reminding yourself of your purpose, taking the time to think. And then I think one more that I'll throw in there is just, community and the people that support you and the friends and the family that believe in you. They're invaluable. There is no soulpreneur is kind of a funny statement because there isn't anybody that's done it by themselves out there to a certain success level, right? Like you hit a certain success level and you need to have the help of the team and those that support you. So
that's incredibly insightful. Thank you, Chris. And
You're
it's
welcome.
clear that having a strong foundation from the early on get-go stage is the key. Now, how can founders balance innovation with practicality, especially when they're trying to stand out in a crowded market?
Yeah, I think the thing is you have to have two. It's interesting. You have to have two mindsets in entrepreneurship. One has to be the visionary, and the other has to be the one that's actually operating and executing, right? And ideal for any founder or startup or small business owner is to have a partner, right? You have a partner that complements you, that helps you with that other aspects, right? A lot of people can do both things, but they can't do both things well, right? I am tremendously talented in the visionary aspect of it. I can operate companies, I can build companies, I can determine the activity, I can motivate the team, I can do all of these other things. But there's definitely people that are better suited to do that than me, right? My skill set is really around the visionary thinking and really kind of leading innovation. So that's what really kind of the entrepreneurs need to take a look at is, what am I really good at and who do I need the help from? And is there someone within my circle that can do that? Is there somebody that's already employed that can do that? That if I'm a visionary, can they help me with operations? If I'm an operator, can I get somebody that's going to help me, push me to live the dream or to innovate, right? And if that's not within your core circle, if it's not within your employee base, then look at, guidance and advice from advisors, from consultants, from people that are in the industry, companies that you aspire to be like. Reach out to them. And I would say that 9 out of 10 times they're going to come to you and they're going to be more than willing to help you succeed because someone probably did the same thing for them.
Absolutely. Now, those are some fantastic insights for any aspiring entrepreneur, I should say, that is out there. To all aspiring founders tuning in, please remember that the road to success begins with a strong foundation. Focus on building a team that believes in your mission and a strategy that's both innovative and adaptable. In a world where things change rapidly, having a solid base can help you pivot and grow in the right direction. Now we'll explore the critical role of accelerators in shaping the future of tech startups, because accelerators like OneEleven, they play a pivotal role in the startup ecosystem, and they provide resources, mentorship, and network that help businesses thrive. Chris, can you explain how accelerators fosters innovation and supports startups in navigating these challenges that we've discussed?
Yeah. So I think if you kind of take a step back and you look at what, aspiring founders and small business owners want to do, there's lots of resources that you can go to, whether it's, YouTube to learn how to build a cabinet or, or whether it's one of the mastermind sessions that help you understand accounting or understand kind of supply chain or things like that. There's a ton of information and resources out there. The problem is you just don't have the time to go through all that. So although incubators and accelerators do provide those kind of services, they do provide that type of programming. The biggest aspect that they provide, I think, is a gathering place, a community. We like to call it place because it has to do with so many more things. It is about the physical space, but it's also about the people that are in that space. It's about the guidance and advice they have. It's about the stimulus and environment and how it makes you think differently. That's what place is to us. So it's not something that really any of the incubators or accelerators in Canada have actually realized or gravitated to or are actually delivering on a decent level. Right. And at OneEleven, we're really trying to do that. We're at 95% capacity. There's energy and buzz in our place. You would not know that work from home was something that people did, There's volume in there. There's inspiration. And that's what the role of a incubator and accelerator is. It's not to teach, it's to inspire, it's to excite, it's to elevate. And that's exactly what we do at OneEleven by bringing in the ecosystem, bringing in the guidance and advice to the membership. And that's where we really kind of champion the industry because we we do have the strongest tech community within our four walls.
That is so true. Having that support network can make all the difference, right? But Chris, what do you see as the key differences between the support needed for startups versus scale-ups, per se, within these accelerators?
Yeah, I think it's very much as startups, it's like you're setting something up, right? So it's kind of like where a scale-up is more like a renovation, right? So a startup at the beginning is like you're laying blueprints, you're doing the excavation, you're starting to build and you learn and you stumble and it always goes over budget and always goes over time, right?
Right.
So, but when you do your second startup or you build your second house, it usually goes better. It's the same with kids. You have your first kid, it's chaos and craziness. You have the second and third and it's super easy.
Super
right?
chill.
So the thing with scale-ups is, they've been through that period. And a lot of the scale-ups are multi-time founders as well, or there's other founders within their team, right? So you have more of a team, more of an expertise. Where scale-ups differ is it's more about how do you renovate? How do you furnish the house? How do you throw parties so people come? How do you do the gardening and do your backyard or, hopefully not build too many fences, but fences with gates so your neighbors can come through. How do you make what you've built even better? So more and more people really want to be part of it. And that's not only your customers, but it's also the investors that you tend to attract. So that's really what the job of scale-ups are. It's really to attract attention and interest in their offering, in their solution, so that they can grow.
It's really fascinating to see how the needs of a startup evolve as they grow. Entrepreneurs, a quick note. Having an accelerator in your corner is like having a mentor who's been through the journey and knows the challenges. So whether you're at the startup or scale-up stage, please don't underestimate the power of the right guidance and connections. Please seek out those who can elevate your vision and help turn it into reality. Now let's delve into your unique approach into incorporating an athletic mindset into entrepreneurship. I mean, Chris, you've drawn an interesting parallel between high-performance athletes and startup founders, really focusing on the mindset that is needed to succeed. Could you tell us more about your goal to have OneEleven operate under an athletic mindset, and how does this concept really translate into entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I think the vision for OneEleven is really to become this high performance center for our entrepreneurs, right? They're our most valuable asset. They contribute billions to our GDP every year, right? We support our athletes, and around the world, Olympic athletes are supported really, really well, right? We can do better in Canada, don't get me wrong. But they do get a lot of support, right? And they do a lot to contribute to the economy. But our entrepreneurs contribute a substantial amount. The things that athletes have is they have focus, they have drive, they have resilience, they have perseverance, and they're open to coaching, right? And you think about it is, you lose a game or you miss that shot. What do? Well, you practice that shot, right? And then what happens is you win the next game, and then you win the next game, and then you win the championships, right? And that's exactly what we want for the entrepreneurs, is we want them to have that drive, focus, resilience, all of these, so that they can persevere. As I said, it's the most difficult job in the world, being an entrepreneur.
It is.
And they have to be solutioneers. They have to know how to overcome the barriers and hurdles that not only they face each and every day, but if an economy turns, or if there's a pandemic, or if policy changes, or a new competitor comes into the market, they have to adjust to this. If you lose like a star player or that kind of thing, you have to adjust. So there's so many parallels there. And as I started thinking about developing this high performance center, the athletic mindset just came really clear. And it's like, I've been an athlete all my life, and I've cycled, I've rode, I skied, I've done a number of different things, and I was okay. Like I was decent, but I wasn't an Olympian or anything like that, right? And I think a large part of it was really, I probably didn't have the right mindset throughout that period. And I had the pleasure of coaching an Olympic cyclist, a 2-time Olympic cyclist, at a very young age, and introduced him to cycling. And one of the things that I expressed to him is the need to focus, visualize, be in the right mindset. And super, super proud of him, right? And being able to kind of see that and take that experience and then bring it into a high performance center. And now we're starting to bring in the visionary leadership speakers. We're bringing in new thinking and this kind of thing. So now the entrepreneurs, they're driven, they have energy, they have focus, right? And we're providing them the coaching and everything for them to succeed. So as you can tell, I'm really excited and passionate about it. So just like an athlete would be.
This is such an inspiring approach. It's clear that discipline and mental resilience are as important in business as they are in sports. But how can founders really cultivate this high performance mindset in their day-to-day operations, especially when they're faced with challenges?
Yeah. I think it's taking, so we do this, one of our major themes. So we have growth, capital, and performance. We do visionary leadership. We do new thinking, and then we do wellness and well-being, right? And I serve on a board for mental health and well-being in the workplace. And a large part of that, and a large part of maintaining that mindset, is taking time for yourself, understanding yourself, breathing, not reacting to things right away. Let your body relax, like because people, there's endorphins, there's adrenaline. It hits us at different times, and then it affects our energy. It affects our judgment. It affects our mindset.
Right.
We shouldn't let that happen. And if we do, we tend to regret it at a later period. So how do we actually take a breath? Exactly. A breath, a simple breath just provides such a calming factor. And then you can come back and talk to your team about something different, right? And as a leader, you have a role, and understanding that role is typically to inspire, motivate, and drive your team forward, right? That's, if you understand that role, then you're going to be able to achieve that with that team. So I think being able to understand your role, being able to think, being able to breathe, being able to kind of keep a level of calm and patience, because it typically, taking a moment, taking a couple minutes, taking 5 minutes, waiting a day to respond to that email, waiting a week so that you can have that discussion with the right people that are going to provide you the guidance, advice, and direction you need. A lot of that is there. You think about some of the most successful companies were on the stock exchange that have been created hundreds of years ago, right? And they had so much time to think. They had summer houses, they had winter. I think they vacationed half the time. But today, we're constantly connected. Take a moment to put your phone down, breathe, meditate, get into the mindfulness state. And then you're going to have clarity of direction, clarity of focus. You're going to stick with your values, your vision, and your purpose. And as long as you do that, you're going to achieve what you want to.
That's an excellent way to frame the entrepreneurial journey. Before we wrap up, Chris, let's look at how these lessons can be applied broadly across different industries. What would you say is the single most important takeaway for founders and scale-ups aiming to thrive in today's very competitive market?
I think it's the word I probably said most during this session is focus. I think the thing is if you can understand what you're good at, and if you can focus on that, you're going to be of the most value to your team. If you understand what your company is trying to achieve, what its purpose is, what its vision is, and if you can focus on that, and if you can lead the rest of your team to focus on that, you're going to save a ton of time, right? Being able to take the ability to shut other things out of your life, or just to give you those moments to think and focus, is really going to allow you to come out with better solutions or opportunities or direction. Consulting other people to provide input that you can take a broad amount of input, but then you've got to focus it down on something very, very simply. Like I had my startup TipTap was, we focused on simple, easy, fast, and effective.
Right.
And everything had to be simple, easy, fast, and effective.
Wow.
And we focused on 3 core areas. So revenues, efficiencies, and utilization. That's how we ran the company. And everything got back to those terms, in those very simplistic terms.
Right.
And you start hearing the team talk about that. You start hearing your customers talk in the same verbiage. It's got a tremendous power when you have everybody focused like that.
Wow. Yeah. Do you have a book by any chance?
Not yet.
Write one, please.
I'm writing 111 books.
Oh. But thank you so much, Chris, for sharing your insights and expertise with us today. I mean, it was great conversation, fully packed with such great advice. Again, thank you so much for being on the show with us.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity and look forward to continue to help startup entrepreneurs and tech founders everywhere.
No, we love the support. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in today. We hope you gain valuable insights into scaling, innovation, and the critical role that accelerators play in the startup ecosystem. Today's episode has been packed with insights on how to drive your business forward, build resilience, and embrace an athletic mindset in entrepreneurship. We hope you found these discussions as engaging as we did. A special thanks to our partners, RBC, UPS, Constant Contact, IAG, and Google, whose support makes this podcast possible. For more insightful content, make sure to subscribe to Canadian SME Small Business Magazine by visiting our website, CanadianSME.ca. We've got plenty more exciting episodes and resources coming your way. Until next time, take care and keep innovating.